Valentine's Day may be over, we're heading into March, but we're looking to keep that spark alive. So we speak to an expert about how small changes can make a big difference in our relationships. Love, it fills us with joy, it breaks our hearts, and makes us scratch our heads sometimes. And how do we know this? Well, you guys wrote in some big questions.
So we thought we'd go to an expert at the Boston Globe, an advice columnist and the host of the Love Letters podcast, Meredith Goldstein, who's here to answer questions and give us some advice.
And we are so happy to have you, Meredith.
Thanks for having me.
So, okay, before we get into the questions, because people wrote in some really great ones.
Juicy ones.
Tell us why people are so obsessed with love.
I mean, it can bring us a lot of joy and a lot of pain, and also it's fun to talk about other people's problems. But I also think there's there's no one right path to finding it and maintaining it. So it's not the same as looking for a job or looking at it, it feels like a magical mix of fate and timing and chemistry, and the fact that we can't figure it out makes us want to talk about it.
Absolutely. All right, so the first question here, Kwani, you want to take this one?
Yeah, let's get into it. Wow. So the person says, I've been seeing someone for a few 4-ish months, and I feel like I should be ready to drop the L-bomb, love, but I'm not. So what if my boyfriend says it first? How do I respond? I don't want to hurt his feelings and ruin what we have, but I also don't want to lie. Anonymous.
We have a category on Love Letters, the column, called Those 3 Words, because so many people want to know, when am I supposed to say those 3 words? And what I always say to people is, get specific. If someone's, I love you can mean a million different things. People sometimes wait until they're going to get married to say I love you. Answer honestly. I love spending time with you. I'm so excited to keep moving on with this relationship.
So don't say thank you.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, I feel like is the worst thing that could come out of
high five. It's like, great.
We did it.
What do we mean at 3 months, I love you? It's like, I hope this keeps going.
Yeah.
I want more of this.
Yeah.
And so say that. Sometimes I prefer hearing the exact thing you mean as opposed to something that is in every greeting card. So just answer with honest specificity, and I think it'll come off okay.
Honest specificity, I like that. Yeah. I like that. That was not the answer that any of our team had, which is why I'm glad that Meredith is here, because our team. All right, so this is from Rosie, and she says, my best friend is recently divorced and has 2 kids. She is such a catch and deserves love. How can I be supportive of her getting back out there without being too pushy?
Rosie, I love this question. I think part of it is giving her room to not do anything if she doesn't want to. Sometimes we just don't want to date and we're busy, single parenting, not single parenting, working. If she says she doesn't want to date, that's fine. The other thing is I think we have a lost art of matchmaking. I think people are so afraid to do setups because what if they don't like each other and what if they get mad at me? I think we need to get out of that. I think if you're set up with someone who you despise, you cannot blame the person who did the setting up. But I do wish we could go back to a time where beyond the apps, which I think are really helpful, we could have friends say, hey, I met this person and thought of you. So if you want to be helpful, go find an amazing person.
Let's start this campaign, because I've been saying this for a while. I don't do the apps. I feel like, for me, I'm very extroverted and I want to physically meet someone in the wild. But to your point, when you have a recommendation or a mutual friend, at least it helps you credibility-wise to make sure the person's legit.
Yeah, I ask a lot of people, what stops you from setting up your friends? And they say, I don't want anybody to be mad at me.
That's whack.
And in fact, if we can all promise not to be angry with the person who set us up with someone we might not find attractive, if it's all in good faith, this is a thing that used to work for people.
Yeah.
And I love, plus also it's fun to play puppet master.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, set up acquaintances, keep it low stakes.
Right, this next one is from, it's from Rob. Rob says, my girlfriend cheated on me with her coworker. We broke up, but I think I still love her. What do I do? Oh, Rob.
Damn, Rob.
You grieve the loss of the relationship and slowly you get over her. I think it's really hard, right? Of course we still love the people who wronged us. Of course we still love people who have left our lives. We might love them forever, but we might love them a little bit less and differently, and then we might be able to love someone new. So do not confuse lingering feelings of love with a need to get back together.
Oh.
I mean, I'm going to love my high school boyfriend for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
He is wonderful, as is his wife. I'm older now, right?
Yeah.
There's been time, right? So an important experience you had doesn't mean you belong together.
This was great.
Good. Well, Rob, we hope that you're healing and
Yes.
take it day by day. Give yourself grace.
So
That's
sorry.
Kwani's
Yeah.
favorite line. Give
Yes, give
yourself
yourself grace. Seriously, it's important. You need it. And thank you for this advice.
Yes, Meredith. Thank
Listen,
you.
Hopefully, I'm never in any of those scenarios.
Well, you can avoid it, right?
Right.
Or learn from it and change. And you
Exactly.
can do that by listening to Meredith's
Meredith.
Love Letters podcast. Season 10 is out now wherever you listen to your podcasts. Meredith, as always, we love having you here.
Thank you for having me.